Welcome to the Tiffany Marie Brannon Show. I'm Tiffany Marie Brannon, and today we're joined by the one and only April Silverman, aka Cali Maga Barbie, and she's amazing. So she's a political and pop culture commentator. She is so talented at raising awareness just for issues, not only specifically here in Los Angeles and California, but nationally. She's a wife, a mother. She is someone who is very rare in the fact that I can never really find anyone that loathes Gavin Newsom quite as much as I do, but April does, and that's kind of a gift. So April, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. And I just want to start with the first question that I always ask all my guests, and that is, you know, kind of what was your faith journey and how do your beliefs inform what you do?
So faith is something that is a part of my life every day. It affects everything that I do. I'm a modern Orthodox Jewish mom of 2 boys, and I live in an Orthodox community in Los Angeles, which is kind of the oxymoron because it's literally in the center of Hollywood in liberal LA, and there are people who are ultra-Orthodox living there who aren't connected to any TV or anything in the secular world, and faith is everything to them, and they're able to insulate their lives and, you know, protect their kids from some of the things that we're having.
The woke mind virus.
Yeah, exactly. That everyone's dealing with in the schools. So I love it because I get to have the best of both worlds and to formulate what I want to take from both sides that works for my kids and my family. And it gives us like a framework and guidelines on how to live our life and, you know, be good to God and hope for the best.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Do you think that faith and understanding like your relationship with God and the world has inspired you and motivated you to become so active? And, you know, because what you're doing, you're protecting the children, you're protecting generations, you're trying to conserve these traditional moral values in a state that is often going the crazy way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that way. I started off actually we had a homeless man who was dealing drugs, and he moved into our neighborhood. And I live in the good neighborhood where the Getty Mansion that the mayors get to live in, we pay for that, you know, so she lives there. This is like a nice neighborhood, supposedly. And when all of a sudden a drug dealing homeless guy with 3 dogs moved into our neighborhood, a few blocks away from me, and the kids were terrified. They couldn't walk to temple safely. They had to move across the street. He would yell at them, and I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I need to do something. Yeah. I tried to talk to council. It got nowhere. And one day I literally did a hostile takeover, took matters in my own hands, hired a bodyguard, and we had a wall built within a couple hours. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. And I literally was all over the news. Like, it was a whole thing.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's how I started. Yes,
no
last
way.
year. Yeah, like in January. And I was like, that's it. I need to show the world and, you know, I did not want to do social media. I did not want to become an influencer. But I realized that people aren't going to know what I'm doing. Everyone's struggling. And putting it out there online, I helped a lot of people in the neighborhood and all over LA and California. People reached out to ask for help with the homeless and how to deal with it and the loopholes. Yeah. And no one's really talking about it on the national space. There's so much corruption with Karen Bass in Los Angeles and the whole homelessness industrial complex. Nobody knows the things that I know. It's crazy. And the fact that it's not all over the news it just scares me because I feel like a lot of people are involved, and it could be on both sides as well. A lot of people are benefiting from it. And so it's scary. It really is scary. And I wish that something will be done about it, hopefully soon.
But to that point, you know, the fact that you stood up when a lot of people didn't or wouldn't. And what I find crazy, especially, you know, it doesn't matter what side of the political aisle or even like faith you're on, is that so many people complain and are willing to be upset about something, but so few are willing to actually step up and do something about it.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks to, you know, a sense of virtue and a sense of what it really means to be a good citizen and to steward something. Yeah. Because like in the Bible, we're told in the Old Testament, back in Genesis, you know, we are given dominion over creation and over the world, and we are supposed to take care of it well. And, you know, also there's those things called the 10 Commandments that we are supposed to take care of each other well and behave as civilized people in civilization together and in community together. And so I think that really speaks to kind of like your heart and your belief system.
Yeah.
But that's amazing. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's
thank you.
awesome. What would you say has it been like in the last, really the last few months? I think there's been this really upsetting to me wave of anti-Semitism that's going on, not just within, the wider world, but even within the Christian and conservative community, and even within the Jewish community. I'm seeing a lot of Jewish people who hate themselves and their own people in Israel.
Yeah. It's a very big problem. And it's very hard for me. I really struggle with it because I'm not a cancel culture person at all. It goes totally against my nature because it was totally abused. So I gave it a lot of time and I got a lot of pushback from people. Like, why aren't you calling this out? Why aren't you calling that out? And I was waiting a little bit till it really became blatantly obvious that you just couldn't deny it. Like they have an agenda. Somebody is, pushing them to say stuff like this 24/7.
Oh, yeah.
And what bothers me also is that I just feel like the people that are pushing this all day, I think you need to take away your title of Republican influencer because you guys aren't helping us with elections anymore. Where were you this last election? Yeah. They weren't helping. They told people not to vote. I mean, like, how is that helpful?
It's insane.
It's insane. So
it's insane.
It's just, now it's undeniable. We have to unite and just kick out the people that are, so problematic like this. It's just a disaster.
Do you think that there is a lack of real belief in God within, because for me, like as a Christian, my mom owns an Israeli tour company. Wow. I was raised going to Israel. I love the Jewish people. I tend to only date Jewish men. I don't know I can't help myself.
Nice Jewish boy.
I love a nice Jewish boy. But there is this very bizarre push that I'm seeing where there's just this, despising of Israel and the Jewish people and this idea of what, like in the Christian community, we call replacement theology, which thinks that, all the promises God made in the Old Testament to Israel and his people, Israel's not just a people, it's a place. Like that's what people don't seem to grasp. Jack Hibbs, the pastor at Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills, did a great sermon on this. And there is a real call to Christians to befriend and support their Jewish brothers and sisters and Israel. And that's so unpopular now all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I think that when I see the Jewish people going in the same direction, I feel like it speaks to a lack of actual relationship with God within the Jewish community.
Yes.
Which it's like the secularization, which is we've seen in parallel with the church.
Mm-hmm.
And do you see like that weird schism going on like within the Jewish community, and how do you deal with it?
So the thing is, I want to say 98% of the times, I really think that those are people who are Reform Jews and they're liberal in their political beliefs. It's all goes hand in hand for me. We weren't supposed to, change the Torah or anything. Like we had certain laws and we weren't supposed to do that. So they started doing that in their temples. Like, we sit in Orthodox temples, we don't sit together. We sit men and women separate because they want you to focus on your prayer and connecting with God as opposed to checking out the hot girl.
But now we call it sexist.
Exactly. So that's sexist. Common sense is sexist.
Well, we know even the all boy, all girl schools perform better.
They do.
Statistically.
I went to as much as I fought it and whatever it is, I didn't want to. And, it was the best thing ever because I actually, had real friendships with girls and I wasn't busy wasting my time with these little boys that, nothing would have panned out of any of that anyways.
Right.
Come on.
Unless it maybe affected your college decision, which would be bad, which you see all these girls doing, like, oh, I'm going to go with my boyfriend to this college. You're like, dude, what are you doing?
They get dumped,
Yeah.
with nothing to show for.
Exactly.
So
it's like you could have gone to Harvard. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know. It's just, it's really sad. I do think that when you take God out of your life, like just everything just snowballs and, nothing just falls into place. So I really think that the anti-Semitic, the self-hating Jews are usually liberal in everything and it shows,
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm sad because the Christians that are standing up for the Jews, they get so much hate. The accounts that I see, oh, you got paid 7,000, you got paid 7,000. I still have not seen proof about anybody who's gotten the 7,000.
Yeah.
And I'm friends, and
I mean, I like to see $7,000.
I know, it'd be very nice. It's very hard to get paid. I don't know what anybody's talking about.
I like a new podcast studio at home, so
I know,
like,
right?
I'm posting about Israel every day, and I definitely don't get paid. So
the biggest people I know in this space did not get sponsored. So I don't know who they're talking about, where that came from, but these lies, and they just run with it. And they're also paying, I'm convinced that they're paying a lot of bots. So you think that when they say like MAGA is dead, it's all bots all at the same time, the same script, just like the left with the propaganda. They say the same thing all over again. Did you see that video like 5 years ago that came out where every single news station, even different, where they said the same thing over again. Yeah.
It wasn't like 5 or 10.
No.
It was like
Local
36
affiliates.
local, like all, and they're reading the same script and they have them all in the boxes. You're totally right.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
That's exactly what it feels like.
You know where I felt it right now also? With Gavin Newsom. So a few months ago, I think it was a few months ago, he got killed in the polls for who would be the 2028 presidential nominee.
Right.
Killed, like something pathetic, like 3%, something really, really pathetic.
Because everyone sees him for the rat snake oil salesman
that he
actually is.
And then all of a sudden, like in June to now, I want to say, all of a sudden you go to TikTok and you go to X and you're seeing a lot of bots all posting at the same time, the same things about him. And there's these girls doing thirst traps for him and dancing for him. Yes.
Stop.
Yeah. Because I dabble a little bit in TikTok now. Everyone told me. I don't get it.
I hate it.
I hate it. It doesn't perform the way I want it. It's just too complicated.
I get doxxed all the time.
Yeah.
They'll be like, your video has 0 views. I'm like, cool. Well, that's not right.
I get strikes also for nothing.
Yeah.
Like it's the weirdest thing. But basically there's a lot of bots there and rage bait where like I was talking a lot about the no on Prop 50, the election, and it's all these people coming in. Yes, it was just like, it's very manipulated. And I just think there's a lot of bots and it's there to have like a voting suppression and like for morale to be down. Like you feel like, oh, we're defeated, so we might as well not vote.
That is so true.
Yeah.
This defeatist mentality where that's bothered me in California for years because ever since I went to Pepperdine for undergrad and my first presidential, vote was when I was in college and I was so excited and I mailed it from California to my absentee ballot. Thank God my vote. But the ideal was, oh, well, you're good thing, you're absentee voting from Arizona because your vote wouldn't matter here. And that's the lie that's been told over and over again when the reality is the numbers are not that off, especially, I mean, obviously before Prop 50, we had a much better situation.
Yeah.
But there are almost 50% of Californians who vote the conservative way or have Judeo-Christian beliefs and values that they would like to see implemented and don't want California to become a giant dumpster of fire that we push off into the Pacific Ocean.
Right.
And want to save the city. I mean, it's very disheartening to me that there is this defeatist attitude. And I think that also speaks to apathy.
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of apathy that we see invading, whether it's the church or politics. It is deeply upsetting because it's the apathy to not show up and vote. You look at the Republican numbers, they're abysmal. The same apathy of Christians who are not speaking up for the Jewish people or against, people like Zohar Mamdani and socialism. I just saw a statistic where it's almost a third of churchgoers think that socialism is a good idea.
Wow.
What is that saying about us as a population?
That's very scary.
And what we are not educating like people for. I mean, but you go back, well, why is that? Well, TikTok is owned by China.
Yeah.
We know it's owned by China. We know the CCP is controlling it.
Right.
And what is communism? Communism and socialism are brothers and sisters, like, sisters of the same family.
Yeah.
And they all come from Marxism. And that is an anti-God,
anti-family.
Anti-family. The number one thing.
What they did to us during COVID. Separate you. Don't see your grandma. Don't spend time with family. I remember when the lockdowns happened, like, and I bought it I'm not going to lie, I bought it for that first month.
I think we all did.
Yeah. And it was the Passover holiday and they all told us, and they got like the rabbis in our community to go against like everyone, we're all going to die if we don't do this. Like this is going to be the first time they're begging us all to stop going to temple and to not do Passover Seder with our families.
Which is crazy for Orthodox.
It's just, it goes against, everything is about community life. So we're not alone. Like people help you. You just had a baby, someone's sick, they're visiting you, random strangers in the community. Like it goes against everything we believe in. So I just feel like this is exactly what they did to them in CCP China. Like, oh, your parents, they don't know any, and what they do in the schools, your parents don't know anything. They're stupid. They're uneducated. They're this, they're that. All these things just keep turning you against, the family. And then just like, morale is down and all our morals are in the toilet. And it's just a disaster. Socialism is great. He's backtracked already on everything he said.
He's asking for money.
Twice.
He's like,
in 2 weeks. Twice.
I mean, I don't even know how to rationalize this. And the crazy thing is everyone's like, oh, socialism's so godly. It's like,
how is it godly?
Yeah, that's the question I would like to say. They said, oh, well, Jesus was a socialist. So then I have to sit there and step by step break it down for them exactly why Jesus was not a socialist.
Wow.
Because what we're seeing is this, they want to kill God.
Yeah.
It just goes back to that. It goes back to there can be no God because God has to be the government.
Mm-hmm.
The government has to replace the God. And, well, what's the reflection of God? The father, the two-parent home, the family infrastructure. So therefore, the family and marriage are the number one thing they go after.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a political war that we're waging, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual one.
It is.
It's one of faith, and it's one that is out to kill the God of the Torah and the God of our Bible.
Yeah.
And that's the entire point.
Yeah.
What do you see like in terms of ways to make a difference and fight back, just whether you're a mom or a student or anything?
There's a lot you can do. I think people need to speak up and, how you can boycott a company and speak out with your money, if we stop sending to these schools that endorse certain things, people just don't talk back. They don't say a word.
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know why.
Is it lack of courage?
Yeah, people are scared. But like if we all fought back, there wouldn't be a cancel culture. We wouldn't have anything to worry about. You guys allowed it and we're quiet. And how much and then people are just going to keep pushing you. How much are you willing to take? It doesn't end. No one's ever going to give you back any control. So the fact that nobody speaks out about it is a very big problem to me. I think there's so many moms who don't have what to worry about technically like I do, and could stand up and, like they aren't going to be canceled. So like
their lives aren't going to be drastically changed.
No, but there should be a lot more. There should be a lot more men doing this also. I don't really see it.
Well, this is the weird part. The only men I'm seeing doing this are on the other side.
Yes.
So there's the father of a daughter in Texas just this week had filed a complaint as a plaintiff against the displayment of the 10 Commandments in Texas schools, and was in this lawsuit with multi-faith families and of course the ACLU, our favorite.
Yeah.
And they had gotten the federal judge to successfully rule against displaying the 10 Commandments in schools. Well, I don't care what you believe, and I know you and I agree on this, where it doesn't matter whether you believe in God or a Christian or Jewish or whatever, the 10 Commandments are kind of basic laws of morality and virtue.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I just think that that's going to be a disaster and I don't know, apocalypse happening. When stealing is okay and adultery is okay, what is off the table at this point? But if you think about it, actually, stealing is okay. Doing drugs is okay in some states. And did it work? No. Has not worked.
Yeah. Murder apparently now, if you live in, one of the sanctuary cities and we have people being set on fire in subways and stabbed in buses.
You're fine.
You're fine.
Yeah.
You can be arrested 14 times. And
he was arrested. This guy was arrested 60 times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because that's normal.
Yeah.
Okay. No. It's the same. Didn't we have in '93? It was super controversial. The crime bill.
Yes.
There's moderate Democrats. The guy on Fox, Harold. He's on the 5 a lot. Forgot his name.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. He's if he was the Democrat out there, I would vote for him.
Absolutely. He's a
so
Clinton
normal.
Democrat.
Yeah.
A Kennedy Democrat.
And he's very faith-based also.
Yes, where he approaches stuff from a more godly perspective, more morally virtuous perspective, where he tries to see both sides. That is completely missing now from the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
What do you think about this whole thing where they're turning into the Democrats? What is the Democrat Socialist of America?
Oh yeah, it's bad. I mean, we have it here in LA. Karen literally was in bed with Fidel Castro. And she also, we're talking about insurrection.
Literally in bed with Fidel Castro? Because that would make it more interesting.
Yes, I know. I'm sure she plays for the other side.
That's fair.
In the past couple of years. But basically, she's a communist, okay? I drive by her house at night. It's there's a rager going on over there. There's a million cars. There's a whole family that she has that isn't hers, by the way, like an entourage, different people's kids. There's a lot of weird stuff going on there. A lot.
I need to Epstein file the house.
I don't know. It's a very good question. Like she has like an entourage of like other people's kids and like I don't know, something very weird going on. But she lives in this ivory tower. She doesn't. You think a homeless encampment could just park a block away from her?
She has security for that.
No, and but for us, forget it. If you don't take matters in your own hands, you are on your own, and it's really, really, really sad. And I do not blame the police. I love the police. They can't do anything.
Their hands are tied.
Their
They're
hands
like in a
are tied.
straitjacket.
They're in a straitjacket. Can you imagine? They all have body cams 24/7, and these women in their face with the phones every second. Like, what is wrong with society? It drives me crazy. Like Alyssa Milano bashing the police, and then someone's breaking into your house. Who are you calling? Ghostbusters? No, she called the police.
No, they want us to call social workers so they can hold their hand.
Yeah, I don't
sing Kumbaya.
A therapist can't solve your marriage. You want them to come and solve a murder before it happens and prevent one.
My marriage therapist got divorced, so then I knew it was.
Oh,
I knew it wasn't probably great.
It wasn't a good fit there.
I'm thinking that a therapist isn't going to be able to stop someone from murdering you who wants to murder you.
Definitely not. And they're not coming. They're not running over. I promise you that.
No, I mean, the whole reason why we have Western civilization is because we came to the West and we civilized it.
Yeah.
And yet there seems to be it's almost a dirty word to say law and order. It's almost a dirty word to say civilization.
Yeah.
Someone said that was racist recently.
Oh.
And I said, why? You look at, we have the narrative of Cortez invading what's now Mexico and we have Montezuma and all these people. It's like they were performing human sacrifice.
Yeah.
They killed millions of people alive. They would open them up alive, rip out their hearts and eat it.
Yeah.
They killed babies on these altars. I mean, what's now the cathedral in Mexico City was literally built out of the stones of the high temple palace that they destroyed. And yet we're raised and we're educated by this wokeified school system, education system that thankfully President Trump's trying to dismantle with Linda McMahon and the Department of Education.
Yeah. Not so simple, I don't think.
Not so simple because it's been so ingrained. I mean, it's interesting because you want to know where we went wrong, right?
Yeah.
Like where did education originally started in this country mostly as like theological training seminaries. You look at Princeton, you look at most of the Ivy Leagues, Harvard, like they were all began as places to go seek God.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, in the same way that we know people like rabbis are studying and you have these, men like studying the Torah and same thing. These are supposed to be basically like pastoral schools and seminaries and, where you study theology and then you went out and you ministered to America. Well, what happened was, and C.S. Lewis wrote about this in his book, The Abolition of Man, where he started to see, even in the UK in the 1950s and 60s, this pull away from truth and from faith and from God. And it was very much like post-industrial revolution. Charles Dickens wrote about this in his book, Hard Times, where you see the replacement of truth with relativism and the same way you see the replacement of the individual with collectivism. And that all goes against God because God created you as an individual person in his image with all your amazing, your body that works, your personality, your quirks, your likes and dislikes, your interests. And instead, we've made everyone either they have to be homogenous and the same, and you have to belong to an identity group or a tribe, and that's where you get your value or worth from.
Yeah.
But that was infused into the education system really because of the Cold War. You see in 1957, when Sputnik went up, we all kind of freaked out because we're like, wait a minute, are we teaching our kids science and math? What are we teaching them in the school? So then what started as an act to try to help us be more competitive on this global scale within the STEM really, department, it became a loophole and this kind of like backdoor entryway for, unfortunately, like atheistic, liberal, anti-American education to try to slip in the back door because then it just got bloated and bigger and bigger. And all of a sudden we have this giant disaster of a problem that's now banning the 10 Commandments.
Wow.
So that's really what it comes from. But I want to ask you, like, where do you think we could reach more? Because, like, we're both women in this space.
Yeah.
And I feel like there are very few women on the larger whole that believe in God, that are willing, that are smart and relatable and aren't, weirdos out on the prairie turning their butter and
it's
like
not
living.
relatable to city
We
people.
like makeup. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I like fashion. I like going out. I'm a normal person.
Right.
I do have someone that helps me clean my house once a week.
Yeah. Same. I like these things, we're all, we need to enjoy a little bit.
Because I think that's what makes you specifically so relatable.
Right.
And what do you think we could do to encourage this next? Because I'm scared.
Yeah,
for
I'm
Gen
scared
Z.
too. I'm scared. I think we replaced social studies with gender studies. They don't know anything. I really don't know if they know basic math. I'm serious. Like, let alone all the things that I remember I remember a lot of stuff like that just comes into my head from history, even from like third grade stuff. Like, did they learn all that? I don't know. I don't know what they know.
Yeah.
But they're so focused on pride and all these things and
Greed.
Yeah. So I just really don't know. I'm really scared. And I think that if we don't dismantle and make some sort of, law, like executive order across the board to start to oversee everything, to audit everything, to make sure that and enforce everything, like this is what's going to happen to this school or this teacher, and start, firing them, shaming them, the same way we just did with all the people who were calling for violence after Charlie Kirk.
Awful.
Like that woman with the, who did this. Yeah. She's a teacher.
She's a teacher.
Young children, kindergarten to 8th grade.
Oh, did you see the picture of all, I love Charlie.
Me too.
And I'm still not just thinking of him.
I know.
It kills me. Wear my bracelet every day. But there was that group of teachers for Halloween. There was like 10 of them.
And they dressed up as
they dressed up as Charlie being murdered.
They were teachers.
They literally were teachers. Oh. They wore the white freedom shirt and they painted blood on their necks.
Wow.
What kind of people, and that really, I think, goes back to a larger issue of we kind of, I don't know what's the right word, diminished teachers, poo-pooed them, made that job seem small and trivial.
And they weren't getting paid enough, even in the private schools.
No.
That's where I think is a big, I don't know how it is in public schools, but that really was an issue. Also, I don't know if this is a law that we can't look into people's social media before we hire them. Is that a thing?
Mine gets looked into before I got hired. I was,
I'm sure.
A couple of years ago, I was literally offered the job to work at a school, and is a private charter school. And, people are kind of dumb. I had to break it. But the head dean's assistant looked at my LinkedIn profile. Mm-hmm. And on my LinkedIn, I am who I am. I have nothing to hide. And I had posted an article I wrote, I think, for like Real Clear Politics that was pro-Trump.
Wow.
And I got a call about an hour later.
After you were hired?
After they'd already said, we love you, we're going to send the paperwork, done deal. Mm-hmm. I got a call saying, Tiffany, we're so sorry. We've decided to go in a different departmental direction. It's not, we're just going to reshuffle. Mm-hmm. The job's not available anymore.
Yeah. It was available right before.
It was available right before. So I think that we've really devalued teaching.
Yeah.
And I think that comes also from being we've also devalued mothers in the home.
Yes.
And that pivotal role, like what you do for your kids, is so important.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's frowned upon.
Yeah.
That's the feminist movement. But then the feminist movement has so many holes in it because look at the trans issue right now, that they're not supporting women. and look at this brave Tish Hyman. What is a woman?
April.
Yeah, good question. They didn't learn science. The science people didn't learn science. They were so focused on science with COVID. But it's just women are so devalued now, like marriage, and they're just making women so angry and anti-men. I saw a video this week actually of a liberal woman on TikTok from Echo Park, okay, hipster land over there. She's like, and she had the septum ring, the whole, it wasn't like the cute nose rings from the 90s, the hot girls with I always wanted a little stud, back then. It was so cool.
My mom would have murdered me, but I thought
it was never happening
I wanted
for
something
me
cool.
Yeah, I was like, it's so cute, or like it was like the, the crop tops with the belly button ring back in the day. Like that
I did not have the stomach for that at the time.
Yeah, I know, right? But so basically she had the whole look going on. She's like, I don't know. And she dated men and women.
Really?
And she's like, I don't know. I went on a date with this guy, a real bro, and he took me out. He picked up the check. He asked me what I wanted, this and that. And when he went to the bathroom, she's like, oh, I thought I was going to take out the credit card because he was so nice. He's been paying this whole night because they went to a few different places. But he's like, babe, don't worry about it. Take the credit card, order what. But he remembered. She was like floored that he remembered to take out the credit card to be a man before he went to the bathroom. Like he was such a gentleman. She's like, I don't know. I am kind of rethinking dating this whole, these liberal, weak men thing. You started all this.
Yeah.
And now you're waking up. She's admitting that she's waking up in Echo Park of all places.
It's like,
I didn't even know what wokeness was. And I remember back in the day going there because there was like some vegan restaurant everyone was talking about.
I remember that.
By Chloe,
yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
I went there for that.
It was like big after Crossroads.
Yes.
Yes.
And I went there for that. And it was like, I was like, the people here are so weird. Like, what is this? It wasn't wokeness everywhere back then in LA. Like,
no, it was just like weird hipsterness, like the Silver Lake people. You're
right.
like, oh.
But now that's
like
everywhere, Like those kind of people are just everywhere, all over the place. But if they don't wake up now, you're going to have a lot of childless cat ladies everywhere, and society, it's not going to grow.
Well, you look at the way that we've lost women, it's like 27 to 30 point difference. Wow. Not just, on the right, because we see men coming back to the right, but we see women going left. So, and you can look at the latest election we just had this past month, and it
was all because of the women. Yeah.
Because these liberal women.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the church. You see men coming back to their faith and coming back to God, and you see women not coming with them.
That's scary.
So it is really scary. What do you think we can do better to reach these, crazy would-be feminist cat ladies?
I don't know. We need to do something in our messaging maybe. And that's why it's important. People like you and me don't look like your typical, you wouldn't necessarily say, oh, they're for sure conservative or whatever, because we're not churning butter and the trad wife and the whole thing.
I can't even fit in those white flowy dresses. What are they doing with their boobs?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I don't know, those sleeper dresses.
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on
and
there.
And the deodorant and all these things. Come on, it's 2025.
I like my aluminum in my
deodorant.
deodorant. I'm sorry.
It just doesn't work. You can barely get that to work.
Not all my makeup is non-toxic.
Right,
It's
exactly.
some toxins on here.
I know, right? So toxins are a good thing. Can't get the wrinkles,
Yeah.
But I think that maybe there's something wrong that we're doing, and we need to overlook it and not just be so preachy maybe. And it's not a one size fits all. And with the boys, I think that they were able to get that message across more in this last election, all the podcasts that Trump did and all these guys thinking it's cool and all that. Maybe there's something that we're missing with the women that we need to, really take a look at and get more people like us, I guess, to be just normal. And that's why I do take controversial opinions. And if you don't like it, you can unfollow me. I really could care less, because when one person leaves, 5 other come in, Yeah. I don't care. I really don't care. I'm not paid by anybody, I'm just going to say what I feel in that moment. And that's why with the whole body positivity movement or whatever, I get a lot of flack for that.
Oh,
stuff.
I almost got banned from TikTok because I made a anti-fatties video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got in trouble at Disney.
I know, but some people love it.
It was very funny.
Yeah, it is funny. You guys are going to pretend like you didn't talk about this for 5 years. I remember Cosmopolitan covers. I used to love reading that magazine. Don't touch it anymore. With women of all colors, literally morbidly obese in thong bikinis, telling me this is healthy. That was the title. That was the cover. And now we're going to pretend all of a sudden, because everyone's heroin chic Kate Moss all of a sudden. You guys want to rewrite.
Ozempic.
Yeah. But that's nobody.
It's
why
not
don't you just
because
admit
it's not
it?
about truth.
Right.
It's about trend.
Right. It's about trend. Exactly.
And I did a show a while ago, and it was discussing why are conservative women scientifically, even according to AI, why are we more beautiful than liberal women? And that sounds like a cocky thing to say, I'm sorry, but it's literally a scientific truth. They did a bunch of studies on it where liberal, conservative, it didn't matter what your background was. They were confused as to why objectively conservative women were coming across or appearing more beautiful than liberal women. Mm-hmm. And what they discovered was that it's because conservatives believe in beauty and liberals don't believe it actually exists. Because of that, because we believe in the good, the true, and the beautiful as Christians, as conservatives, as Jewish believers.
Yeah.
What that does is that it has a trickle-down effect. And we know that the golden ratio exists. We know that something like, a gorgeous Renaissance painting or a Michelangelo's David exists. So when we're faced with something like, that woman that went viral a couple years ago for using her period blood on a mattress.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's not art.
No, that's
I don't think
disgusting.
taping a banana to a wall is art.
No. No.
But if you go that direction, if you're succumbing and sort of like listening to the trendiness of that around you, then you're going to say, oh no, the banana on the wall is art. It's the same. It's, all art's relative because beauty's relative.
You know what I think of all the time, and it applies. Used to love reading Aesop's fables when I was little. Remember those? And I had a big book. I remember that's what I would read to bed. We didn't have iPads,
That's why we're smart.
Yes, exactly. So those kind of things are what, keeps me, I remember all the morals of the story, So the emperor's new clothes. That's what I feel like we're living in every day with Zoran, with this one, with that one. The way people are just conned. Someone just keeps telling you something. This is it. This is it. It's okay. It's healthy and beautiful to be 500 pounds. Back, you guys wouldn't survive a minute in early 2000s culture where it was all about the weight.
I was like a size 6 in high school, and I felt obese. I was like,
what was the line in The Devil Wears Prada?
Oh yeah.
2 is the new 0. 0 is the new 2, and 4 became the new 6, or something like that.
And you just call her 6.
Yes,
and she's like, actually, I'm a size 4. Yeah. Oh yeah. And this is, that's how I felt.
I know.
That was the reality.
So maybe, yes. And, remember also we were growing up during Tyra Banks. They called the size 6 girl, who was stunning. And by the way, they're tall. So 6 is not really a 6. That was considered plus size.
Yeah.
So yes, maybe it was a little extreme on our side, but it kind of kept us in check.
It did, but you also look at, people always say, did it give me a complex to where now I have to stay between a size 2 and 4? Yes.
Yeah, I believe it.
I have a little bit of comment, I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Also TV ads. Yes. So there's that. But there was a situation where I really think that, I forgot what I was going to say, but it was, what was your saying? It was to your point of like,
oh my God, where did we go?
The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, that they would literally fat shame us everywhere.
Oh yeah, fat shame us everywhere. But what did it do? It actually to keep us in check, because you're right. The thing is that knowledge, and this, I say this and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face.
Yeah.
Truth requires obedience. Knowledge and the pursuit of knowledge is really an act of long obedience, because you have to, at some point, you have to acknowledge there's that immovable object there, and that you have to submit to its reality.
Right.
So being morbidly obese.
Yeah.
And there was those shows of like, My Fat Life or whatever. Those people are dead. Yeah. They're our age. They're dead. They died like of horrible heart attacks. One of them had I just was with my little nephew just broke his foot. Oh. And this is disgusting. I warn you now. And the guy putting his cast on said that he had, my sister's like, what's the craziest thing you've seen? He's like, well, I had this guy in here that was morbidly obese. And he was probably diabetic. He was a couple of weeks overdue for getting his cast removed. And he came in, he was complaining of pain for the cast.
Oh my God.
And they went to cut it off. And this is really gross. And when he tried cutting, it smelled really bad. When he tried cutting off, maggots came out. Oh. And then the whole cast fell off, including his foot and bone.
The cast fell off?
With the foot inside of it.
So the maggots ate it?
Yeah.
Wow.
But because
you didn't get to the area,
it's
no oxygen.
But there's this society that really doesn't think we should be taking care of ourselves.
I know.
And the thing is, we are created in the image of God. Yeah. We do have these bodies that provide purpose and function, and we need to be functioning adults, whether we're single, mothers,
but everything
wives,
in
whatever.
Moderation. Also, we don't need to be busy like on those people who are plastic surgery obsessed on botched or whatever. Yeah. Okay, that's a sickness. That's crazy. But then
that's
this
dysmorphia.
That's dysmorphia. But this whole other thing of you guys are going to pretend. I'm okay that they're pushing the Ozempic now. No one should be obese and all that stuff. I get it.
Some people need help.
They do need help.
Some people can't go through,
but I don't
trauma.
like it's the same people that said it was okay to be obese. Meghan Trainor, sorry, she came out with a new thing today.
Yeah,
that I lost it and I got it. I'm good. But you were all about the base.
All about the base.
No, you just could never lose weight. But you shouldn't say that because you obviously the second you had an out, you ran to do it. And Lizzo. That was her whole, but forget all the controversy. I'm not even going into that.
We're not going to talk about the flute.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the flute. I'm not talking about the bananas either, okay? But the point is that you guys kept pushing and shoving it down my throat. I don't want to see you looking like that in music fit. Like nothing, that's gross. With the flubber all over the place. I'm a 90s kid. Used to go with my mom to the Loman's, remember Loman's that we had like
I loved Loman's.
Do you remember Loman's? They had
the
the greatest store, and it's gone. I never been able to shop.
So are all the good stores. They're all gone.
Yeah, they're all gone. And that's why everyone's shopping online, but it's still not the same. But the fitting rooms, I remember back in the day, I was traumatized by it was like a public fitting room. All the fat women with the saggy, butts or whatever within the thongs.
I call it
there.
elephant ass.
Elephant ass, that's good. And all the models, the size 00 models, were in the private rooms, in the stalls. Yeah. So I don't want to see that, Lizzo. I don't want to see it. But now she's upset, and she's still denying. Her, Mindy Kaling, all these girls are denying. Stop denying it. I have eyes, okay?
Mindy Collins, just her plastic surgery glow up. And I love.
And no one wants to talk about the skin thing.
No,
but there's something there.
There's
with all of them.
And I love Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
I do. I think she's iconic, and I really respect how she completely changed her entire life in her 40s. It's like something she didn't start. I mean, look at her and Barry White. They didn't start their businesses till they were in their 40s. Like, that's insane.
That's insane.
I mean, but when someone asked her what she's had done since her little jailbird time.
Oh, come on.
And she's like, horseback riding and green juice.
Yeah.
Friends, that is not horseback riding and green juice.
No.
That's insane. But
Kate Beckinsale is a different person. She also
gosh.
denies it till the end.
So does Olivia Munn. Like, what does she do? What does she do?
She did a lot.
She did so. I liked her before.
Yeah.
I liked her before.
She had a different, more exotic look.
Yeah.
Now everyone is
like
abusing it was the buccal fat removal, which was a disaster for most people, and you can never get that skin back.
No.
And now the blepharoplasty. Yeah. On some people, it's incredible.
Mandy Moore, though, what did she do to her face?
She destroyed her face.
It's really sad. So did Bradley Cooper.
Oh my God.
He looks crazy.
The men look awful.
The men look so bad.
Why? What are they doing?
I don't know. The only one that looks decent is Brad Pitt. And I know which doctor he went to.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Oh my gosh. I'm looking forward to hearing that. But yeah, he's the only one that looks good. But that's the problem with the trends thing. It's no one thinks for themselves. The Kardashians are to blame. Remember, they told everyone, to have this curvy body with the butt, like they would just keep injecting.
Funny. Kim
and they also never admitted
removed.
They all removed it all of a sudden. They created these like caricature bodies, and people went and spent money that they didn't have to go look like that because they're
Tina
stupid.
Fey used to call them the only perfected Japanese sex robot.
Oh my God, that's literally what it is.
It's true, but it created these unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed by conservatives on the right and by Christians because we bought into it too. Or it really went one of two ways.
Mm-hmm.
I am super frustrated and tired of, again, guys, you're here for spicy takes, of ugly women in the church.
Yeah.
I go to church and I mean, this is not always true. I'm from Scottsdale Ridge, like Phoenix area. So a lot of those women are all little plastic carbon copies of each other.
Wow.
They've had everything done. But like, that's too much, right?
Yeah.
But when you go to the average conservative Christian, whatever gathering event, what I often find are women that run away from beauty. They run away from beauty so fast and so hard, it makes me sad. They think that to be devout or to be virtuous or to have some semblance of morality, you need to externally show your humility by not wearing any makeup.
Good luck keeping your husband then.
Yeah. By not dressing well. They all dress so frumpy, like these long flowy skirts and these blousy tops.
You can be modest and you can still be beautiful and classy.
You can still be beautiful and classy. Yeah. And they all look the same. Like all the women our age, they all have like the brown. Again, I'm not anti-brunettes, guys. I'm just saying this happens to be true.
Yeah.
The ones that are like under 50 all have like the long undyed like brown hair. They don't really wear makeup. They all have like the hollows under their eyes.
Oh, God,
and
nobody
like,
wants to see that, man.
You know what I mean? But they're all wearing like the same, like those little flappy, click-clacky like slides they all wear that are just obnoxious.
Yeah, those make so much noise.
They make or if they're over 50, they all have the short gray hair and they're wearing like the
they don't even
frumpy
dye their
sweater.
hair?
They don't even dye their hair.
Ooh.
And so I was at a conference this summer and again, like wonderful people.
I'm sure, yeah.
But it was so bizarre to me to see people who cared so little about beauty generally. I mean, you look at the scriptures, you look at what the scripture says, like a woman's hair is her glory.
Yeah.
And the Bible,
There's
the Torah.
so much about it.
Oh yeah, the Torah is full of beauty.
Yeah.
Whether it's the temple or clothes, like the the clothes of the priests
Yeah.
are so detailed with beauty. And you think about how heaven's described and how the New Jerusalem's described with, you know, gold and jewels and just this awesomeness, like in the real capital A word.
Yeah.
And we've lost that. And I don't know.
There's no balance, it feels
there's no
like.
balance.
Yeah. It's either this way or that way.
What do you think it's because we were told that you needed to be more masculine to succeed or to be a voice?
It could be. It could be. It really could be.
I
don't know
know.
why it needs to be that extreme. You don't need to be, you know, provocative or whatever, but you
Well,
do
then we
need
have
to
like
be-
the OnlyFans Gen Z girls that are literally
It's
half
so-
naked,
yeah.
but you know, MAGA,
Yeah.
like the hot girls for
There's a
like
lot-
make America hotter
There's
girl.
a lot
hot
of that,
again.
by the way. I really don't care for that.
Don't get me started.
There's a lot of weird stuff I've noticed
lot of weird stuff.
on the internet. But yeah, there definitely needs to be a balance because nothing good is going to come out in your life like just looking like that. The men are visual people to begin with, and it's not just about them. It's also for yourself. You want to feel good, like when you look in the mirror, like, oh wow, I really look good today. You know, like it's
There's
just
something to be
you know,
said for modesty.
Yeah, but you can find the balance. You don't have to be ugly to be modest.
No, you don't.
No, that's easy. By the way, no one's going to look at you. Don't worry. No one's looking at you with your gray roots like Frankenstein coming out.
How would you encourage young women to become like more modest or maybe to seek faith?
Little by little, you don't need to pile. I think that in general, don't, take on too much at once because then you'll just take everything off easily and you're just like, we'll have had it. And just try to do like more positive things. I think like, go to church, go to temple whenever you can, but don't be too hard on yourself. But, it's just, especially with all the insanity that we see going on, it really does help framework our life, Modesty. I go to the store, I think twice before I buy anything, I'm not perfect or whatever, but like I do modesty in my own way, not necessarily in the Torah 100%, It's something I always struggled with, but I found it my own way and it's what makes me feel good. And I'm not looking to get the attention of other people, because
you value yourself, because you know that you are created in the image of God.
Right.
You are this amazing person.
Look at Melania.
Yes.
She doesn't have to have, the boobs out all the time or, she doesn't have to do that to look super hot. She's probably one of the hotter people out there right now, in my opinion.
Oh, I mean,
you don't have to strip down to look so amazing. And that's the problem. People don't see that though.
Well, I think it's because we don't value elegance and this true beauty and like understanding that it's inward, outward, right? It comes from the inward, but it can be presented outward. And like you can have class and sophistication and all these things as a woman and still have a voice.
Right.
And still have an opinion.
Right.
And
We're
still
not
be taken seriously.
We're not oppressed.
We're not oppressed.
No, we're not oppressed. We all have, opinions and values and we like the same things you guys all like, but we want to look good in the process. We still want to have a family and have a continuation to our family name, Yeah. Like we just don't want to be making the same mistakes that you guys are making.
Do you think you see people, whether it's the faith community or the conservative movement, like not necessarily oppressing women, but really maybe wanting to put women in a box?
Yeah. I mean, there was a whole controversy, I think, with Emily Saves America a few months ago. Remember that?
I do.
So I remember that she got like attacked heavily by the men. So forget what she said. It doesn't matter what she said.
For not being married.
For not being married.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that going on. And I think the way that they attacked her and called her like feminist, liberal, or whatever it was, like, guys, we're never getting people on our side for the women if you're going to do that. That's literally what they say that we're doing. So if we're doing something like that, that's a big, big problem.
Huge.
So we have to look at ourselves as well as at our own party and the problems and the cracks that we have. There should be, maybe just don't get involved in that. I don't know if the men should have got involved in that argument and blasted her and all that stuff, especially not knowing. I think there was a lot of stuff that happened behind the scenes with the other girl, with the ring. It was like not just like she just came out of nowhere. So there was a lot of that going on. I like to give a little bit of nuance and context before even speaking about anything.
Heaven forbid we give nuance to a complex situation.
I know. God forbid. We just have to say verbal diarrhea, what's in our mind and just say it,
But it does speak to, I think, a bigger problem. Because I've spoken publicly about this before. I suffer from the same sort of attacks as someone that's been divorced.
Right.
There's a stigma, like a scarlet letter that I never asked for, never wanted.
No.
Said never thought I'd have to deal with.
Right.
Where we're treated very differently. If you're a single woman, over the age, I want to say 30, or you're divorced, or there's something wrong with you. You are not valued.
Yeah.
You are considered.
But the man is totally fine to do whatever they want, though.
Right.
That's fine.
They can be in their third marriage.
Yes.
I don't get it. I literally
there is
don't
a stigma.
get it.
We have it in our community also. 100%.
How do we fight that? How do we fix it?
We have to stop. Like, there is a stigma there. It really for the women.
How do we
men.
create a community for
we
women?
need to think more about the women. The women are really neglected, in my opinion, especially faith-based. I don't know how it is in Christian society, but like we have a lot of stuff in the Jewish society that are meant like certain like blessings and certain traditions that are really based around the man. So like, I don't know. I feel really bad for divorced women and widows, and we have a lot of problems like that. It becomes a real issue because let's say you have a son who's bar mitzvahed and you need someone to go to temple with. I have friends that are
I never
single.
thought about that.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard in the Jewish community. I feel so bad for my friends that, it's hard, and like no one wants to step up. The men do not want to step up to like be like a surrogate parent and whatever. And it's sad. The men do a lot of like Torah learning and stuff, and like they don't have a dad to take them to temple.
That breaks my heart.
It's really, really sad. And there are people that really do step up, but like not as a collective whole. There is a stigma. The men can be on their, I don't know how many marriages in, not a problem. There's still a catch. People are still setting them up. And the woman who's been divorced, by the way, and most of the time, it isn't their fault or whatever. There's not something wrong with them. Usually a lot of the time, not stereotyping, but a lot of times in my experience, it has been with the man. And, and the woman has tried. But we try, I think, on the conservative movement, a lot of the men influencers try to like push it like as if everyone's asking for divorce. So no, I think that with divorce, I think that there is a lot of people think marriage is disposable.
Yes.
Yes. But also there are cases where divorce is 1,000% necessary.
Yes.
And I'm a big believer in it. And there's an option. I'm not Catholic,
Yeah.
The Catholic movement does need to pivot because people were married and staying in the same house. And they have like wives instead, like mistresses instead, and whatever. So that doesn't work either.
No, it's a mess.
No. So we need to have a much more balanced approach and stop like demonizing the women. They didn't ask. Some of them didn't ask for this. No, a lot of women do not want to be divorced. No, it's it's a very, very hard and not easy. So there are people who think I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. A lot of it. People who are I know going and I get the hate for it. I'm like, you're making a mistake. It's not going to be easy for you. Like I've seen it firsthand and I get the hate for it. A couple of years later, fast forward, after all the controversy, whatever, with my opinions, oh, you were right, April. That was not a good idea. She should have stayed. So sometimes when the women leave, it's a mistake. Sometimes when the man leave, it's a mistake. And then a lot of times you see that one wants to come back. It's just too much has been done. It's too late. No one's at the same timeline. So we need to just start educating, I think, the youth that, divorce is a last resort, but like, there's a lot of deal breakers in there. Like theft, fraud, adultery, abuse, any of that kind of stuff is never okay. And there shouldn't be any working on it and too much therapy. Like where no one's talking about this. It is a very complex issue. Like therapy is there for a reason, but is it going to solve everything 100%? No, it's not.
So you look at millennials and Gen Z. We are so over therapied.
Yeah.
We've, I think, ruined ourselves.
Yeah, it's too much.
I think we've said,
it's too much. I'm sorry. I'm tired
you
of
have
it.
to go to therapy for this. You have to go to therapy this.
Yeah.
Have you become aware of, I mean, look, being aware is great.
Yeah.
I've done therapy obviously a lot.
Yeah.
Do I go anymore? No. I go to church. I go to a great class. I do Pilates.
It does damage sometimes. Talking about the same thing too much also is just too much.
When there's no forward movement.
Right.
And also you look at the where therapy started from. It started from this inward reflection. Like we're going to find all the answers to our life's problems like inside of ourselves.
Oh, because we're the geniuses.
Because we're the
Yeah,
geniuses.
okay,
Us fallen,
but we're in
fallible
therapy.
people. Yeah. Yeah.
Make it make sense.
I mean, and I think that speaks to a lack of the reality of like, we're fallen, sinful, fallible, broken people doing our best every day. We don't have all the answers. That's why we do look to God. That's why we do look to the Torah and the scriptures and the Bible.
Yeah.
That's why we do look for something greater and more powerful than ourselves.
Right.
Because we can't do it for us. That's why like, I believe Jesus came. That's why, I can never do what I need to do to make things right. That's not in my spot.
Right.
But to your point, it's sad to see this lack of men stepping up in the right way. And I think it's because we've lost sight of a true biblical man.
Yeah.
because I've been lucky enough to have like 3 good friends that have husbands that really exemplify what it is to be a man of godly character and virtue.
Wow.
Where when I went through this, I lost friends. It was very bizarre to see women that I'd been friends with as a couple, where all of a sudden I didn't realize that they were insecure in their marriages.
Yeah. Oh, now you're single now. You're coming to get their husbands.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Husband hunter.
That's scary.
I was like,
and I see that a lot.
No offense, my friend, but no, thank you. I wouldn't want no husband.
I don't want your leftovers.
I don't want your beta male.
No,
it's like
you.
soy boy.
Yeah.
I mean, not all of them, a lot of them.
Yeah.
But it was this thing where it's like, first of all,
that's a scarlet letter right there.
It's a scarlet letter.
You didn't ask for it.
Didn't ask for it.
Wow.
But the perception and the treatment of women, of course, I think it does have a lot to do with like the way other women treat women. And that's the whole problem within our community.
Totally.
People are not nice. It's very competitive.
No, they're not nice.
But we also have not been training up men to have the wherewithal and the character to be able to be in a room with another woman that is single.
And not jump on her.
Not jump on her. Because I hate the narrative that gets pushed down our society's throat that we're all just animals. And we all are just, men are just visual. They can't help themselves. They need to sow their wild oats. They have no self-control.
Right.
Why would you ever think a guy just can't help himself? That is not godly.
No.
That is not a conservative ideology.
No, I don't know where that comes from.
It comes from Darwinism, really. It comes from when you take God out of the equation and you make us just another animal.
Wow.
You make us no better than the animals. So if a pig or dog or bear or whatever can't control themselves and has to go mate with a female as soon as she's in heat, then why would man be any different if he's just another animal? When you take the creator out of the creation, you're left with a bunch of muck.
Yeah.
And therefore, even though we might be in a society or in circles that, claim to be Christian or be conservative, we've still been so heavily influenced as a society by these lies, these ugly, evil lies, that we now treat men like they can't help themselves.
Yeah. So it's all your fault.
And there's no self-control. Like a man can't have self-control. There's this thing called prudence and discipline, which I think we've forgotten.
Yeah.
And, that's something that really does worry me for this young generation because they're so influenced by social media, by pornography.
Yeah. They think it's all easy. They think, oh, she just showed up to, pick up a pizza or whatever. I don't know. Like, that's like, you don't have to put any effort into the work. They don't have to court you. They don't have to deal with you, ask you about how you're feeling, nothing. So that's the problem with the pornography situation. They think everything's like instant, like Postmates,
And very like aggressive.
Yeah.
And I read this thing where young kids are graduating high school without ever being kissed, but with have been sodomized. Like,
really?
Oh yeah, because they see it. A lot of them are seeing like their parents' porn on their computers or being exposed to it through YouTube or whatever. And so they're growing up from like 6th grade on thinking that's normal.
Wow.
But never having understood romance. Like Reese Witherspoon was kind of right when she recently said, bring back rom-coms. Bring back this idea.
You can't bring back rom-coms because everything's going to be canceled today. Okay, you're feminist. You're excited about a man courting you and sending you, what was that movie, Sweet Home Alabama, where he shut down the? Oh my God, sorry,
Dream.
That was a dream. He shut down Tiffany's for her. Like, wow,
sign me up.
I know. That's the problem. You took out rom-coms. You took out funny movies like White Chicks, where we would play a Rush Hour. We would make fun of all our cultures together.
Yes.
If we started going back to that, where we could make fun of everyone, then we can't be going, oh, that's anti-Semitic, that's this, that's that. No, we're all equal on the same
Look at what Dave Chappelle and Jeff Dye and all those guys are doing.
But that gets hate too. So you can't win like this. We need to go back to that. We had a good sweet spot.
We did.
Everything was perfect. Life was good. And then I think since 2016 it started, when The Handmaid's Tale started coming out and all these things started, that's when they started changing the media and everything to just, that's when they started, I think, with the wokeness.
Yeah.
You know when they started though, early on actually, and I'm probably like a guinea pig because I was obsessed with it, Glee. That's when they start. That's what they say, that was the Ryan Murphy, and I love Ryan Murphy's shows.
I never thought about this.
Yeah, but think about it. You're the disabled kid. You started with the gay stuff everywhere.
The lesbian cheerleaders.
Yes, desensitizing you. Yes. Yeah.
April.
Yeah. Shocking.
My mind is blown.
Yeah. And I loved Glee because I love oldies
I was
music.
I was a musical theater kid. I was a nerd.
I love Broadway. I love all that. So that was my high school. That's what we watched.
You're so right.
Yeah, but think about it. It wasn't like that before. 90210, all that stuff. Right before it was not like that.
No, before that we had like Full House and we had even Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was still mostly about the males and women being women, and we didn't have that. So we had you know what I'm watching, binge watching now because there's nothing new to watch. I'm watching Desperate Housewives.
Stop.
Why do I like it so much? Turns out Mark Cherry is a Republican gay guy, the creator and the writer.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Makes
I
a
never
lot of
knew
sense.
that.
The women were alpha females, hot. Brie Vandekamp with her gun, and she would be baking pies and
You're so right because that was our generation, and
but she was a church lady, and that's how they're supposed to look.
And that was so something that influenced. I was living in China at the time, and it was one of the only things, and Switzerland. So the only things I could get were like the
older shows.
Yeah, well, but I was in college and grad school, and there was like this super ghetto website where they streamed. I'm sure legally.
I was good at all those.
You know what I mean?
I did that when I was in Israel for seminary.
Right, thank you. Where you're like,
you had a VPN and all that.
Yes, and I was like, I would watch all the Desperate Housewives. I finished it when I was living in South Korea. I was so excited. But you're right; those kinds of women were so iconic to us because they were wives and mothers, and they did bake pies and go to the PTA
but
meetings.
still balancing everything.
But still went shopping and like got their hair done and like were out at the gun range and still sexy. And like, they don't think that lingerie is evil. And that has been so lost. The idea of what is a woman
you don't see it anymore. That's why Sydney Sweeney, like there's only one woman left, I think. Sydney Sweeney and Margot Robbie that look good right now. Yeah. I don't think anybody else.
Everyone looks terrible.
Everyone looks terrible. I mean, if we're looking at Ariana Grande who destroyed herself inside out.
Sad.
And that's not Ozempic. That's
anorexia.
Yeah, there's anorexia and some weird demonic thing going on there. I'm sorry.
I think it's demonic.
Yeah.
I mean,
like the whole
way
thing.
to turn something. And like, again, I was very much in musical theater when Wicked came out.
Yeah.
I started reading the book because you're a kid performing musical theater. You think it's great. I went and saw it on Broadway. I have a signed poster with Idina Menzel.
Huge fans of that when it came out.
Yeah, and then I started reading. I bought the book, and this is very similar and a parallel to something like socialism. I bought the book, and I actually started reading the book that the musical is based off of. It's evil.
Wow.
It's dark. It's twisted. It's disturbing.
Wow.
It has this weird sex thing and this weird like...
So kind of like what it looks like between the two of them right now in the cast?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something there.
Yeah.
So that's when you take out the beauty. Beauty's not okay. It's not good to look. Cindy Sweeney admitting that she's hot. She is hot. I have eyes. I have two eyes.
Oh, that interview with her and the girl was the best.
That was amazing.
She's like, you think I'm going to apologize?
But that's why she is who she is right now. But the fact that that's controversial, that she is white and beautiful and whatever, and that's a problem now because everyone else looks disgusting right now.
I was just at the NASCAR championships and she was there being awesome. It's like, why is that a problem?
She's the only, but that's the emperor's new clothes. We're back to that. Everyone else is stupid people. And she's the only one like, hey, people are going to want to look at hot people. They're going to get sick of watching people who look like weird looking creepy things, like The Walking Dead. I don't know.
But I do
ugly.
worry that the more we lie to ourselves, because look at the transgender issue.
Right.
Look at how much we've lied and let these kids be mutilated.
But Joy Reid is now admitting. Oh, you saw that?
No.
Okay, so I'm following this whole thing with this Tish Hyman. You heard about her?
Yes.
So what's wild is I have not been to a gym in years. I'm not a gym person. I used to go to classes, Pilates, but I've been doing a lot like on the TV just because I'm busy. I watch at home. And they opened this gorgeous Gold's Gym at Beverly Center. Everyone's talking about it. I keep getting messages in my text. They're giving out deals, 3 years free. If you bring in this one, I'm like, sign me up.
What?
Even if I go once this year, it's worth it. Okay. I was like, okay, I'm going to go this week to check it out. Boom, that video comes out. And I was like shocked. I'm like, oh my God, I could have been a member here. Holy hell.
Do you want to explain it, like what that?
Yes. So basically there is this woman, her name is Tish Hyman. She's Black and she is a singer-songwriter. And she went viral because she's in Gold's Gym, in the brand new Gold's Gym, and she is being attacked. They took away her membership because she's like, there's a guy with a big penis in the women's locker room. He looks like a man. I'm sorry. He can put on a little lipstick and whatever, and he's a man.
And there are girls in there.
Yeah, there are girls in there. And no one stood up for. Everyone's with their fucking phones. Sorry. Okay.
No.
With their phones.
It's true.
Videotaping, and no one is doing anything. It drives me crazy.
Well, what about everyone filming people being
beat up,
attacked?
It's the same thing.
Look at, Irina Zaruka.
Yeah.
When she was being stabbed on that bus, you can see from the CCTV TV.
But why? Why did that happen? Why has this happened? Because of Daniel Penny.
Yes.
The one guy who stood up.
Yes.
Look what they put him through. That should have been case closed the day of. Look at the guy in the bodega owner. He literally shot the guy who came in and tried to rob him. Like this stuff, the self-defense thing, it should be case closed, innocent to proven guilty. Like that is why society looks like that. And we don't have good Samaritans anymore.
No.
The fact that we're just watching people get beat, like this is like voyeurism. This is creepy.
Yes.
This is dirty.
We're watching it through our screens as it happens instead of being the person that stops something evil from happening.
Why don't you tell the person next to you, hold my phone, videotape it, put it on Instagram Live, and I'll go intervene? Like, why is that not happening?
Well, it's because, and I wrote a piece about this recently, it's because we have unfortunately become a casually evil people.
Yeah.
Evil's just like whatever.
Yeah.
We've dumbed it down. We've made everything like, well, it's not really evil. It's just like something bad that's like, I'm going to go viral on Instagram for. Because when you take away God, when you take away goodness, true goodness, then evil doesn't really exist.
Right.
Because it's a binary.
Yeah.
So if, someone's just doing something, we can make it about their skin color, their sex, their situation. We can blame it on the fact that they're mentally ill.
Yeah.
Sin, the idea of sin has now been devolved into a mental illness.
Wow.
Or a disease that we can go to therapy for or get a drug for.
No, you can't solve like pedophilia. You cannot solve that. You cannot solve that. I'm sorry.
No.
You need to be castrated or something. They're doing something right over there in El Salvador.
Well, someone sent me a meme recently, and I'm not condoning violence, just
yes,
to be very clear.
No one's doing that.
Not condoning violence. But someone sent me a meme recently that I thought was interesting because it's like, remember when we used to just like execute the people that were raping the kids?
Yeah.
What happened to that? Now we give them probation and they're out raping more kids?
They're not getting over that. That's their inclination. That's what they're attracted to. They're going to keep doing that.
Well, now they're calling them, what is it? Minor attracted
minor
persons,
attracted,
MAPS.
And that's on the new flag. That's why a lot of gay people do not like the new flag, because the new flag has a lot of innuendos and they keep adding things to the
gay LGBT flag.
Yeah. It's not the same thing as the original rainbow one from the 90s
which I still don't like, but still.
I know, but it actually like made sense and whatever. This one, they just keep adding new things. Jeffree Star talks about it all the time. Like, just stop bringing up things and adding things. It's crazy. A lot of them don't want to be, associated with this. This Tish Hyman in the Gold's Gym locker room, she is a black lesbian and she's not a Republican.
Yeah.
And she's like, enough. This should not be a red versus blue issue. It's a pink versus blue issue. Men versus women. You are not a man.
Yes.
I mean, you are not a woman.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's getting all this hate for it. It's unbelievable. She is not a Republican. She didn't ask for this.
She's common sense.
Yeah.
She's just speaking the truth.
Yes.
That, sorry, it is inappropriate and uncomfortable for a naked man to be in a woman's space.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be controversial.
No,
it doesn't matter.
Be. But Joy Reid admitted now, if a guy came in with a penis in the locker room, I'd freak out. Really?
What?
For 5 years, you guys kept yelling at, they demonized Riley Gaines like she's mentally ill.
Yeah.
Because, what did someone say? Like she's a loser because she looked for an excuse, like she lost to this guy, to this whatever.
So she was looking for an excuse to like not be a champion. Someone said swim harder.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
I'm sorry,
it's
but
just biology. Sorry.
Our bone structure is not even the same.
No.
Matthew Thompson.
Yeah.
That was his name before he transitioned.
Yeah.
It's so upsetting to see. It's a lack of reality. It's a lack of science. You want to talk about follow the science.
But you can't pick and choose science when you want to.
No. Well, someone needs to tell.
And also, you guys also hid a lot of the evidence. That's why I don't trust the science. Well, why don't I trust this? And I am a vax. I did not COVID vax, but I am not into. I think that certain vaccinations you need to have them. Okay, we're not going back in time and going and developing
like polio.
Measles. Yeah, we're not doing. Come on,
we're
not doing that. Like that's also a thing. That's a problem on our side as well.
Yes.
Everyone assumes that because you're a Republican, you're an anti-vaxxer, you're crazy, and whatever. And so I had that trouble during COVID a little bit. That because people were. Now they admit that I was right, but people in my community, they were thinking about the COVID vaccine, they were doing it, whatever. And like, I felt like a leper a little bit, but like, Guys, I have Botox on my face. I am not, churning butter. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm not doing any of that stuff. We are all vaccinated for all the things that I need to be vaccinated. I just think now I learned a little bit more. Maybe we need to space them out. Maybe we need to do this thing, to get rid of the toxic, whatever, metals and stuff like that. So like, I'm just all about moderation and everything. And that gets lost so much. And
it's so polarized. Like you said, without the nuance.
Right.
There's such a polarization and extremes on both sides. I mean, now I know people that won't date people if they've had vaccines. And I'm like, I mean, there's a list.
Okay, it's already hard enough to find anyone, so stop looking for things.
You.
Like it's already hard enough.
I'm like, it's hard enough to find just a normal, nice person that isn't crazy, that has their stuff together in this world. So with like, good moralities and believe in God.
Yeah, it's very hard. Don't put more things on the list,
But men and women, again, the whole concept, like one of the very first scriptures back in Genesis is that God created them male and female.
Yeah.
Period. It wasn't and a bunch of other different gender identities.
No.
And so once again, walking away from that truth, walking away from that Judeo-Christian essential principle and reality has led our society to just devolve into chaos.
Yeah.
And you go back to so many of the ills of our world. When you look at people that are in jail, people that are committing crimes, people that live in poverty.
Yeah.
We can trace back a direct line to fatherless homes.
Yeah.
To lack of fathers being present in the home.
You know who talks about that a lot? Larry Elder.
Really?
Yes. That's his whole thing. And they call him Uncle Tom. They call him...
That's awful.
You know what they called him when he was win the race? That's when I knew we were crazy in society. The LA Times called him the black face of white supremacy.
They did the same thing with CJ Pearson, who's a friend. Who, it's like with the the party.
Yeah, with that party.
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Because people are hot at the party?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
we're
they
denying
just
our...
crop out all the other black people that were there.
Oh, that was... So that's why we don't trust anything anymore. And that's why people have had to become extreme, because now they lost trust in everything, So it is a problem. You just stop lying to everybody.
Yeah.
How
do you think we can effectively, as people of faith... kind of claim America and just our culture, because that's really where we're. If we're gonna, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Politics is, I always say this is a temporal, finite thing that's kind of silly. That's really a symptom of a much deeper problem, and that's our relationship with God and our heart.
Yes,
and where we are as people.
Yeah.
So, what's your opinion on how we can start reclaiming that space?
Just more voices like us who are just more moderate and not going to just beat up everyone when they have a different opinion, of you.
Yeah. If you could go back and tell April 10 years ago, or someone like you who's 10 years younger, what would you tell them to do?
I would just tell them to, just try getting involved with, whether it's politics, whether it's with your faith, with everything. Just every single person can make a difference. And if we stop relying on the biggest people to do it, and we all get involved and we all help each other, then society wouldn't look like this.
Yeah.
You wonder why things look like this, because everyone just waited around for everyone else to get involved. I saw it in the New York election. I said it for 4 months. I was posting it. That's how I started getting a ton of New York following me, because I started talking about it. I'm like, I'm a California girl here. I'm telling you, I want to be here. I like this place. I hate the politics here, but I love this state. I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for it. I want to go back to what it used to be in the entourage age and the golden age. But you know what? I need to make compromises. I need a moderate Democrat here. If I have the choice between a moderate Democrat, a Republican, or a socialist, I'm going to pick the moderate Democrat. Yes. And it doesn't make me any less Republican, even though I kept getting bashed about that. I'm just realistic. No. You are going to lose that race. And by the way, the fighting that was the most controversy I had. I was getting involved. They asked me to get involved, with Cuomo and whatever, for the election.
Is this Sliwa and everything?
Yeah. And I'm like, you guys.
He should have dropped out. I'll say that to his face. I love the guy. He should have dropped out.
I love what you do. I love it, but you're singing on the same thing from the Gaudis and the this, and they shot you in the back of the cab. You have no plan, no nothing, no chance whatsoever. Just who voted for him? Staten Island.
It's about taking one for the team. It's about lack of ego. That's the problem.
I didn't pick Cuomo.
No.
I didn't ask for it.
None of us picked Cuomo.
But I'm going to turn him into whatever the perfect man that he is. Yeah, because he was the perfect option, and they could have won. And that's just a symbolic thing that drives me crazy when you guys are so you're asking for this. It's so self-destructive. The answer is right there, and you're not doing anything about it because everyone's waiting on everyone. There was no unifying leadership there. It could have been won.
Yeah.
But
I
they
agree
were
with
also
you.
stupid. But that's how it is with everything. No one's speaking out till it's like till the emergency happens, till someone gets raped in the locker room. No
And then we
one's
forget
speaking
about
out.
it 2 news cycles later.
Even one.
And we're not talking to the younger women. We're
No.
not talking to these women
No.
the same way we're talking to the men. We're not saying like, hey guys, feminism isn't the answer.
Right.
And not only that, but we need to make conservatism and God cool again.
Yeah.
That's really what we
The
need to do.
only one who was doing that was Charlie Kirk.
Yes. And I think that
There is no one to replace him.
no, he was one of a kind.
Yeah, he
and
wasn't extreme. He knew how to talk to,
talk
and
to
they were
anybody and everybody.
disgusting to him. I don't know how.
Awful.
I would never have the patience. That's why, like,
He really does have, or did have the most
yeah.
patience of anyone ever.
And I kept saying that even like when it was like before he passed away. Like, how does he do? He's like a saint.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, these people are literally like throwing things. I mean, they're weird looking people, and he never laughed at them. Never did any. Like,
he treated everyone. And the
Yeah.
thing is that Charlie was really so Christ-like in how
Yeah.
he approached people. And he remembered that the truth that everyone is created in the image of God, and that this is a person that needs Jesus,
yeah,
that needs God
Yeah.
more than anything. And it's his job in that moment to be an example and to treat them as like the incredible miracle that they are. And
Yeah.
C.S. Lewis says that one day, he says, first of all, that you never meet a mere mortal. Every single one of us is immortal, and every single one of us will one day be something so terrifyingly glorious that you will almost want to bow. You will be tempted to bow down and worship each other.
Wow.
And the glory of God and your full, self that you should be. And to remember that, and I struggle remembering that, like, and day to day when you're dealing with these horrible people and you're dealing with the ugliness of the world.
Yeah.
And I think that is such a great point you make, because we do need to follow Charlie's example and the example of what it is to be people of faith in this world and fighting back against evil, because it's not about political elections.
No,
it's
no.
not about all these little subjects, all these issues we're talking about, whether it's transgenderism or socialism or whatever Gavin Newsom's doing.
Yeah.
It all comes down to a heart issue and a lack of virtue and a lack of people understanding what it is to be good, true, and beautiful.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, April, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so
I really
much.
appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, this was so fun. Went by so quick.
I know, you're amazing. But
This was
please
awesome.
join us again.
Yes, anytime.
And please, everyone, follow April. She's incredible. She's
you.
all over social media. Do you want to tell people where they can find you?
Sure. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the things. But my main account's Instagram. It's Cali Maga Barbie.
And she literally looks like a Cali Maga Barbie.
Thank you.
Because she's so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining this episode of the Tiffany Marie Brandon Show. We hope to see you again. Until then, further in and further up.